Hello and welcome to my Salsa Online. One more time, this is Joel
Maria.
and we are going to discuss, we're going to explain three different ways that you can dance on two, okay? Also known as Salsa on two, Mambo, or New York style. Either way, you can call it the same, and this is exactly what we are going to cover on this video. Okay, so we are going to start discussing by these three different ways of dancing, right? So actually we can face each other, so you can see if you are the follower, you can follow Maria, and so on. You, of course, if you are the leader, you can follow me. Okay, so we're gonna start from here. First, let's talk about the first one, right? Actually, people know as a Eddie Torres style. Okay, so when you're dancing on two, a lot of people start on the first beat. So start from here and one, two, three, and notice the four is probably on the air like this, right? And then you land on five, six, seven, eight, one, two, three.
And
Notice actually,
6, 7.
when I was taking classes with the master, right, with Eddie, he was actually sometimes like explaining this kind of thing, like and one, six, seven, and one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, notice the 4 or the 8 are kind of in the air, right? So now another way to dance it, okay, or the one that we using in our school at my Salsa Online, and also the classes that we teach in New York City at Joel Salsa, we land on the 8 or the 4, okay? So not necessarily exactly is a precise number, but it's more a feeling, and we're gonna explain to you once we play the music, okay? So if we put the numbers, now we're gonna put the numbers again, okay? So instead going on the air or land on the center, on the 4, on the 5 or the 1, we are going to do this. We're gonna do 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, which we love to connect this with the conga sound.
6, 7,
Con con
1,
pa,
2,
con con
5,
pa,
6,
con con pa,
pa,
con con pa, and con con 2, 3, con con 6, 7, con con 2, 3, con con 6 and 7. Now notice here, we can keep dancing here. I want to show you where is the we're gonna compare both, right? So you can start seeing the difference here. 6 and 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8. You see, I'm on the air and she was already on the floor on that sound, right? So that's the main difference. So what actually you will feel the difference, okay? So if we start dancing again here, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. You do the con con. You do the con con. 6 basic and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what happened here is that we were actually on the I was on the air while Maria was already grounded on the floor. She was already hitting the sound of the conga beat, okay? That's the difference. It's not right, it's not wrong, and we're gonna show you when we play the music. It's all depending on the feeling of the music that makes you feel, right? It makes you dance.
Yeah, so basically I'm hitting the 4, right? I like to hit the 4, and like Joel said, most of the music, the way we teach it is we do teach with the conga beat. It's because we personally like to play with the conga beat when we are dancing, right? So it is preference, and yes, some music will really drive us to hit the tumbao of the conga, and then some songs will also drive us to hit the numbers, right? So we're going to show you with
Keep
the
talking
music
there, please.
what calls for us to dance on the conga beat, even though I probably dance on the conga beat 80% of the time. But also, I don't like to dance the same way all the time. So even in the same song, I can be dancing on the conga, and then if something calls me to dance like on the numbers or the 1, 3, 5, 7, I will switch the way that I dance. And again, we'll show you some samples, but just so you know, it's not always the same. But for the majority of the time, it's our preference. We like to hear the conga, and it might just be the style of music that we like to listen to as well.
Yeah. Why this is important? Because if you always dance the same
Same.
way, of course you don't have that dynamic to change the feeling, to change the body movement, etc., right? Like Maria said, depending on the song that we listen to. By the way, we're gonna put some examples in a minute. But let's say, for example, if we start dancing now, actually we're gonna explain the third way, okay? So then we can start dancing with music. The third way is not as popular. Let's
yeah.
put it that way. I remember one other group that other person that was Razzmatazz, I believe that was the name. They were dancing more like straight to the two. I think they used to call it Power on Two or something like that. So
Power two.
they used to do it like this: 2,
Two,
3,
three,
4,
four,
6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. The difference, if you see in the center, is the stop is a little more sharp and always hits the 4 and the 8. So you're doing this 2, 3, 4, okay? The difference that whenever we dancing on the conga beat is the sound of the kung kung.
First,
It's more
yeah.
like kung kung and expand. The sound expands. So we using that and we express it with the body. So instead doing,
Like
for example,
ba, 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 ba. That's a little more rigid, right? And they don't start with the conga. They don't start gung gung two, right? They go,
Yeah.
they wait, and they go right onto the two. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So it's it's a little similar to the conga, except they're not. I don't know if they're not
Yeah.
listening to the conga.
Now the difference also is also how much, like I was saying, how do you expand the time and the center, right? So instead this, for example, you can actually do a little bit to the side, like kung kung pa en kung kung pa en kung. You see, it's like kung kung. It like doesn't stop, right? Also, other people being start. It's actually it's very similar to whenever you dance son, right? You're doing the kung kung pa taka kung kung pa taka kung kung pa taka kung kung pa taka kung kung, right? So a lot of people now start teaching that like a dancing like son, right? Or they used to call it like
Well, it's a son cubano
a son
rhythm.
cubano rhythm.
Which
Exactly.
It is a
That's
son
what the
cubano
word.
rhythm.
Yes.
We're just dancing salsa steps
Mhm.
to the son rhythm, right? But
Yeah.
now you'll hear a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, on the son rhythm," right? And saying instead of just saying kum kum or the tumbao.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
teaching like these like probably for like the last 10,
10
years
years,
in
yeah.
our school. So we used to call it the kung kung sound, but it's the same. It's very similar
rhythm,
to
yeah.
concept of the rhythm to the song, right? When you dance song, the rhythm. So now, if we now start, for example, I want to put the difference between all three, right? So we can start dancing together, and I want you to start identify these three, okay? So we start from here. We're gonna start with the first one, which is the editorial style. So we start with the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So start from here and 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3,
and
5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3,
4,
5, 6, 7, and conga, kung kung pa, taka, kung kung pa, and kung kung pa, and kung kung pa, and kung kung power and 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, conga, pam pam, kung kung pa, and kung kung pa, kung kung pa, and kung kung pa, pam, pam pam, kung kung, pam pam. I guess the main difference between the last two is that how do you using the kung kung sound in the center. And the reason that we call it kung kung sound is because we not always land on the 8 or the 4, okay? Sometimes the kung kung sound hits on the 8N or the 4N. So sometimes we land on the
end.
end, not
Second
on the
kung.
4 or not on the 8. We wait till the second kun, exactly.
Second kun.
The
So
second kun.
the
So
first
kun
kun-
right here we land.
The first kun is the 8 or the 4, and the second kun is the end. So it's always 8 end or 4 end.
We
right?
land sometimes on either or.
Yeah,
Mhm.
depending on what we're doing, right? Even especially if I'm traveling into a turn, I might not hit the 8 or the 4. I will hit the end. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
still using it, right? So that might sound a little bit like I'm contradicting myself. I'm still using it, because I'm actually following it either with the body, maybe kum kum, ta taka taka, yeah? So I'm always using it as much as I can. Just for me, I train the ear so much, or for
Yeah.
both of us, that we just really like to hit it. But again, sometimes if the music, something in the music is overpowering, we will use whatever the music is letting us use.
Yeah, and also it's good to know it as well because you can create more dynamic in your dancing. And depending on the song that you're dancing to, you're gonna be able to express better yourself because every song is gonna be totally different. So right now we're gonna put some examples, okay, on music that actually is more like marked on the first beat, so it kind of will invite you to dance more on the editor style. I will say for me or for
Or
for
on the
us,
numbers, or on
okay.
the 1, the
It's
3,
not like a
5.
rule, okay, but this is we just try to explain to you why or what we feeling when we listen different songs, okay. The other songs that I will play, that will step more, you will feel more the bass and you will feel more the drum, the sound of the drums, right, the congas, and then you will be dancing to that. So let's go over the music.
Yeah, and also I just want, because we're only talking about the gung gung, which are the tones of the conga, but also the slap of the conga hits on the 2 and the 6. So Joel mentioned that we use it to create dynamics. So I'm also using the gung gung, the ba, gung gung, the ba, right? So we're also using the slap of the conga as well. I know we didn't mention it too much because we wanted to show you the difference, but just so you know, when we create dynamic, we're using the gung gung, ba, gung gung, the ba, right? So I'm also really expressing the slap as well. Okay, so you'll see that as well. And I want to also mention that another reason we're explaining this, because sometimes you might see people dancing on the dance floor. So say you're learning one way, right, in a school that's only teaching numbers, and we get this a lot. They'll come into our school and say, are you guys teaching on a different like number? Because they're confused. They're only learning the numbers. So it's good that you see, because sometimes they will explain like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, really big, right? And we completely dance the opposite, yeah? So just so you know that, yes, we're dancing on 2, and you might see someone like, oh, what are they dancing on? So it's good to educate yourself, like what's out there? Why are people dancing different? Yeah, it's really all about the music.
It's just about open your mind and just be flexible and start, like I said, dancing depending on the music. That's what we're dancing to, and that's what we have to feel, so we can express
Express it.
what we feel. Actually, now that I mentioned Maria right here about the tumbao of the conga, we like to use it too because also creates dynamic. Maria, you show about the step, but what happened when you social dancing as well? I want you to notice this with the numbers, only with the numbers, versus dancing with the conga beat. In this case, I'm gonna explain only this. I'll show you actually only with the outside turn, so you can just see the difference. So if I doing this, 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7,
I'm
1,
on
2,
beat,
3,
right?
5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. So I was actually marking on every single beat and wait till the 1, etc., right? Now what we're gonna do is land a little bit before, because now we're gonna use the sound of the conga beat. So that means we land on the either 4, 8, or we land on the end after the 4 or the 8, okay? So we're doing this. Kung kung, pa, pa, kung kung, pa, pa, kung kung, pa, pa, kung kung, pa, pa, kung kung.
So now
I
the
want you
dance
to notice,
becomes,
okay.
it comes a little more flowy and wavy, rather than everything looks even.
Yeah, okay, so we're doing this. Notice here, pause, pa, pa, and that center, and remember, this is slow. It doesn't stop. It's not stop. Stop. It's not this. And bam, bam, wow. So the body looks like always is moving, dancing, right? Same thing with the turns. So if I doing this, and bam, bam, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, and quick, quick, and bam, bam. Notice how we squish that and that's what we try to transfer or teach in our school. That's always been our forte, like making sure that people start dancing with this feeling, with this timing,
It's
but also
dynamic,
listen
yeah.
to the music, okay? So now let me put some examples right here. So we're gonna start with the first one, and this one, it feels very, very clear to dance like on the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. You will see why. We're gonna tell you what to follow here. Listen to the piano. Parararam, pam, 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 pam. Parararam, pam, 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 pam. Parararam, pam, 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 pam.
1, 2, 3, 5, and
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3.
So we're
5,
now
6,
dancing
7.
on the numbers, right?
2, 3.
It's a different feel.
1, 3. Let me try another here. This one actually here. Sopita de Pichón. That's another song. So we're gonna try this one here. Listen here. 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And tiene que tomar. No deja to feel. Tiene que tomar. It hits right here. Tiene que tomar. Tiene que tomar. Tiene que tomar. You see, he was. I tried to match my steps with it. Tiene que tomar. Tarararara. Pa, pa, pa. Tiene que tomar. Tarararara. And my body now is syncing, like with the music. Now it's in sync right there, okay? So, this one was a quick example with the basic only. This is not about to teach you all the steps that exist out there. It's just to start understanding what you have to listen so you can start matching the steps. Even if you're dancing on 2, you can just make variations, make dynamics to make a fit to the music that you listen to, okay? Or dancing to in this case. So now we're going to go to the another song. And I want you to listen to this one. This one has a little more the conga beat and also the bass. Very strong there, okay? Let me try it from the beginning so you can hear.
Salsa.
Pam, pam. Cum, pam, 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 putum. Epa, ah. Pa, tum, cum, cum, pa, pam, cum, cum, pa, cum, cum, pa, and cum, cum. Pa, ah, ah, pa, pa, cung, cung, pa, pam, cung, 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 pa, cung, tum, pum, cung, 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 tum, tum, cung, cung, cung. So like the bass can also guide you there a little bit. Of course, it's got to go a little more deep into the time in the musicality.
Here, ready. This part.
Cum, tum, tum, tum. Pa, cum, cum, pa, pa, cum, pa, pa, cum, cum, pa, ah. Cum, cum, pa, and cum, pa, pam. And then you dance a little bit to the side. Hepa. Cum, cum, pa, pa, ah. Cum, pa, pa, cum. Okay? So that's a quick example on how you can start dancing. Either landing the first beat, okay, depending on the song. For example, charanga is very, very strong. The rhythm of charanga, right? It's very strong on the chord beats. Means on the 1, 3, 5, 7. So sometimes you feel like 1, 2, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. It just called you for that, right? It's still even if you're dancing on 2. So, but for example, these quick examples that we just put. It's important that we start training the ear, right? So little by little you start detecting these instruments by themselves, and it's like you just feel what you have to express, and you just feel that whatever you feel with the music, and now you start expressing it with the connection that you have with the music. Yeah?
Yep.
So I guess we are going to leave this tip right here. I hope that this helped, okay? Again, it's all about training the ear, continue listening to salsa and keep dancing, okay? If you know any friend that you think that will like to hear about this topic, please tag them or share this video so they can watch it, okay? Thank you, and we will see you next time.
Thank you guys, yes. See you guys in our next tip.